Minecraft Live is coming and it's about to announce the next big update theme for Minecraft. 1.20 is going to be a big milestone of an update, but what exactly is going to be coming inside of it? Well, I've been playing Minecraft for 12 years now. I've seen a lot of updates in that time. Some of these have been amazing, some of these have been less than memorable, and given that 1.20 is such a big milestone, let's talk about what it should be in my opinion. And I think the obvious place to start is to explore the idea of an exploration update because, of course, Minecraft needs to update the structures, but they also need to give more unique events to the world to encourage you to go out and actually explore it. I mean, the game rewards building a house and making fixed farms in a really great way right now, and it does technically reward you for finding structures in the form of loot and villages in the form of the trading. However, ever since the exploration maps that allow you to find a ocean monument or a woodland mansion, there hasn't really been enough added to the game itself to encourage you to do those things. I think the way the Wandering Trader works as a random event is really fun, but I think it works the wrong way. You can buy things off the Wandering Trader. Wouldn't it be fun if the Wandering Trader sometimes needed random things from you? That would single-handedly encourage you to go out and find more things, and of course there's lots of ways you can add more structures to the game and more meaning and lore that people can find themselves, but I think having actual events is one easy way to do that. Speaking of easy things they can do, the zeitgeist right now is definitely behind something called an inventory update. I didn't realize till I released my video on the fact that a lot of people have had this exact same thought, that yeah, Minecraft has had the same size inventory since there were fewer than 50 blocks in the game. Now there is 200-ish and we have the exact same 36 slots, and it's just not enough. Every single time you go underground, you're going to have too many blocks to come up with, and the only solution is to go to the end and get a shulker box, which is really late game as a solution. So I think that Minecraft needs to have an inventory update. We could talk all day about what should be inside of it, but at a minimum, they should have some way to supplement your inventory storage. This could be an enchantment for a chest plate. This could be a whole exclusive item. They said they're not going to add the backpack, but maybe, maybe you get some pocketed trousers that give you a few extra slots. There should be some way to increase your storage, even if temporarily. Make it a potion if you really have to, but they should also have a better place to store sorts of essentials that are on you. So in the way they wanted to add a quiver before, maybe you have an arrow slot that now means you don't have to take up one inventory slot on that. Maybe you could have the same with shears and flint and steel and these sort of small items that right now take up the same space as 64 diamond blocks, despite being something that you could easily slide into a pocket, in my opinion. So the inventory update is something that I think would be really great, but if there's one thing that's more important, it is the left behind stuff that they really need to get around to updating. Why not make an entire update from it? The left behind update could finally give another use to the Echo Shard. It's weird, this is one of the rarest forms of loot in the game. It's only found in one place and it has this really mysterious feel, and it's used to craft precisely one compass, which hardcore players can't use anyway, and most players, if we're being entirely honest, haven't found a real use for. Wouldn't it be great if there was another use for these mystical shards? Or what about the fletching table? This was added in 1.14 with a promise that they were going to add a use to it in the next update, which, 1.14, 1.20, that's basically the next update. But as well as that, there is also the luck potion. There's also the fact that they said every crafted stone material would have stairs, but the concrete is suspiciously missing it. Just adding concrete stairs to the game, a purpose for luck, as well as a fletching table use and some Echo Shard recipes, as well as maybe, stuff like archaeology and the bundle. This would get people very excited because there's all sorts of features which were, mentioned or were hyped up for previous updates, which people are still excited for if they ever came back to the game. And we won't mention the fireflies or the birch forest for now, but those would also be good fits for this, wouldn't they? Speaking of good fits, the minecart perfectly fits one player, but it's not very useful as a transport mechanism. It moves slower than flying, of course, but it also moves slower than boats on ice or horses or really basically any form of transport. These things require so much work put into them. You need to build these very expensive in terms of resources tracks, and the reward you get is you travel at this speed. I'm having so much fun at this very hyper fast speed, and even though when you go down super fast hills like this, I'm still going the same speed, even though just physics implies I should be going faster. The minecart max speed, it was obviously something from a long foregone time, and even Minecraft Console Edition, this has happened before, upped the speed and it made them so much better. All sorts of contraptions were possible there. Why don't we take the minecart and double the speed? In fact, why don't we go a step further? Why don't we triple the max speed? We don't have to up the acceleration too much, but why don't we make it so minecarts can go seriously fast if you build the right track for them? Minecarts should be this high effort but high reward system, but right now they're a high effort, low reward system, and so how often do you see these used? Not very often at all, something they could easily fix with a minecart update. But something that might be even more important in terms of old features is a Deep Dark update, because the Deep Dark was added as a biome in 1.19, but it really exclusively houses one structure and then kind of exists otherwise. I mean, the Deep Dark is kind of scary because, you might walk into there and you might accidentally set off the warden, but the real reason people care about the Deep Dark is the ancient city. Wouldn't it be great if there was a reason to care about the biome as a whole otherwise? I think that could be really great, but I also think the ancient city is really good. I mean, there's some removed features that could be great added back in, like the vases and stuff, but I also think the portal is just dying to be updated. Take a whole update for it if you really want to, but give us a reason for that portal. I can come up with a billion things that it should do. Mobs should come flying out of there. You should be able to go into it and there's a new dimension. Maybe the portal teleports you to different portals around your world. There's so many different possibilities for what this thing could do. I just want to see one of them, and I know that eventually it will happen, but maybe 1.20 could be that time. Maybe 1.20 is instead the time to not go into the super late game stuff in Minecraft that most players can't enjoy, but maybe we should go back to the roots, which who love roots? Farmers, because a farm update would be really good. I think that although there are lots of foods in Minecraft right now, about 40 if my collecting every food streams are believed, but if there's 40 foods in Minecraft, maybe that's not enough. I mean, the pace of increase in number of blocks and mobs has gone up dramatically, but we don't add new meats every time we add a new animal, and although eating turtle meat or dolphin meat might be a little bit controversial for Minecraft, maybe there should be new foods that you can farm for. So there are all sorts of mods that allow you to do this already, but wouldn't it be fun if there was a rare chance of finding a strawberry plant and now you can grow your strawberries? I think it's always fun when you get a new world to try and find pumpkins and melons and beetroot and carrots and potatoes all for the first time. To me it's enjoyable, and collecting more of these across the world could be more reason to explore. Once you have a farm of every type of fruit, not only will that allow you to show that you've gone everywhere in your world, but also it will allow you to craft the more complex things together. What if you want a strawberry cake? You could make that, and having more recipes could just be a lot of fun, and also give people the opportunity to have more unique food, because almost everyone uses steak or golden carrots, or if you're really rich, the golden apple, and if you're really poor, the melon slices. But wouldn't it be fun if there were more viable options? For instance, strawberries could give you only half a hunger shank, but give you a ton of saturation, making them good for the long-term survival player trying to sustain themselves. Maybe a better example is needed than strawberries, because I'm sure they're not actually that good for you, but you get the point. Having more varieties of food would be really good, and I think it would add a little bit of more gameplay value to the game. You know what else would add a lot of gameplay value to Minecraft? A custom world update. Minecraft is the game where you can customize anything you want except how the world generates. At least on the Bedrock Edition, there are two choices you have. There is the normal world type, and then there is flat, which is purely flat. There's nothing in any direction. I'm amazed that anyone can make this work. Especially, this IBX Toycat guy and his weird series where he's been building a whole world out of that. It's pretty insane what you can do, starting with basically nothing, and I think challenges are really great. More custom super flats would be wonderful, so you can have a world that's entirely burning or made of TNT or anywhere in between, but also where you could just customize the world generator just a little bit. There should be more of these options that are available to the end player so that you can make your own survival challenges if you really want to. I think this is the biggest missed opportunity Minecraft's ever had, and I think that especially given that the Java used to have a custom world option that doesn't seem to work anymore, wouldn't it be great if they added back that old feature, and then especially if they added it to the Bedrock Edition? I think it would. Speaking of worlds filled with fire, do you know how you can avoid your world being filled with fire? Well, I can just give you the statistic that greater than 99% of house fires happen to people who aren't subscribed to the IBX Toycat YouTube channel. You can do with that information what you will, but something you can also take is the fact that jungles in Minecraft have needed an update ever since they came out, basically, because the jungle is something that feels like it could be a really interesting, risky, challenging place, but instead it's just really annoying to walk through. I think we need a jungle village anyway, because they have jungle villages, and I think a jungle village would be an amazing look for Minecraft, but I think we could especially use an update to the entire feel of this place, so you actually feel like you're walking around a place that is filled with life. Some of it is friendly, some of it is beneficial, and some of it is dangerous. This could fit into basically any other update, but when it comes to a biome that needs an update, update more than any other. The jungle is definitely that, because I mean, have you seen the jungle temple? This thing just doesn't feel like a temple at all. You know what would be great is if it looked like this instead, but that's a topic for another video. In fact, a whole video about ways that structures could be updated to benefit Minecraft, in my opinion. But yeah, if we're being honest, if they're going to update a biome in Minecraft, they're probably going to take the ones that they have mentioned previously. So we have voted previously, I guess technically against a savanna biome update, but it'd be cool to have ostriches and termites like they suggested. We have technically voted against the desert update, but we voted against the swamp update, and you know, they always decide to add these later to make sure people know that it's not voting not to include them, it's just voting what comes first. So deserts will come at some point, and so will a Badlands update. I think the Mesa biome, also known as Badlands, is one of the most stunning biomes that Minecraft has, and I think adding more features to it could be a really wonderful thing. Unlike the desert, which really feels like it could do a little bit of love, and the savanna, which, side note, I've just realized the 3 biomes that they're going to be updating at some point in the future all are very hot places. How about a hot lands update? Okay, that's a terrible way to combine those 3 things together, but you know what definitely needs to be combined together? The End, the Nether, and the Overworld in a big height limit update, because right now they have 3 different height limits. They're really strangely different, and it means they don't line up in so many different ways. It could be intentional, I will admit, maybe they want to have 3 different height limits for 3 different dimensions, but imagine each of these dimensions having terrain that takes advantage of a full 320 blocks of height and 64 blocks of depth. Having actual caves or something going down underneath these worlds would be incredible. Having something going on at the top, you know, some form of islands or something for the End that are way up in the sky would be incredible too. And even if it's just left open to the player so that you can build things up there, imagine the things you could build in an End that's 320 by 320 blocks. I'll give you a clue. They would be very big, very crazy things. And you know, I want to build some stuff in my End now. That's what this video is making me want to do. And that's what Minecraft could make you want to do if they updated the height limit in this dimension. Maybe I have too high hopes for Minecraft, and we should instead look at what they've been doing with previous updates, which is basically taking things that feel out of place in modern Minecraft and giving them full updates as if they were designing them from scratch today. We saw it with the ocean, the villages, the Nether, and even the caves, so maybe if they're going to be doing this, they could do so with the ores in Minecraft. I think the caves look really stunning now as of 1.18 and beyond, but I think the reasons to go into those caves are good and they're just as fine as they were before, but could be updated massively. What if there were all sorts of things that could be found down here, some things that are exclusive only to mining, because right now mining is just the poor man's iron farm or gold farm. Wouldn't it be great if there was actual reasons for late game players to come down here? Or maybe late game players would just demand farms of these new resources. You know, the fact that iron golems would spawn in a way that was farmable was only added by mistake, but then people pressured Mojang into keeping it, so maybe in reality we would just see people demanding that this new advantanium ore or whatever else they add is something that they want to have farmable anyway. But I think seeing more creative ways to encourage people to actually go mining in Minecraft would be really great, because let's be honest, once you get your diamonds, you're mostly out of the underground game, and most people don't even do that necessarily. Anyway, speaking of most people, structure update. I know I've mentioned this basically in every other thing today, but I think the structures need to be updated, and the reason why is because if I tell you about a dungeon in Minecraft, what are you picturing? Oh, well, I actually mean this. If I tell you about a temple in Minecraft, what are you picturing? Oh, it's this weird thing made of mossy cobblestone for some reason. Honestly, I guess my issue with both these structures is they're mossy cobblestone messes from a way back time in Minecraft, but I think that adding more structures, or even better, updating the existing ones, is something that they could really do with even inside of another update. I think that the only thing that could do with more of an improvement is the difficulty, because right now difficulty just means how much damage you take from mobs. There are a few new features that are starting to take advantage of it more. So for instance, raids are longer on hard difficulty than easy. Would it be great if there were more reasons to play on hard or easy than just this simple thing of mobs go down in difficulty? I would love to see a difficulty update, and it can't be hard, can it, Mojang? In fact, that's the problem, isn't it? So with that said, the next thing they should definitely come round to is a version parity update. There are all sorts of Java features that are missing from Bedrock, and there are all sorts of Bedrock features missing from Java, and the claim is they want both versions to have all of the same features, so, you know, put the money where the mouth is, and make an update where every every single one of these features actually moves from the platforms where they are to the platform where they should be. I think this would lead to lots of positive improvements. I think there'd be some downsides, because how do you work out which is the correct way to do something? Is medium salmon the correct way, or is it big salmon? Well, of course it's big salmon, but what about things like the block placing mechanics and all these other, the way movement works is slightly different between platforms. Come up with a way to address all of it and make Minecraft truly the same everywhere. I think that's almost an impossible thing to ask for, so if I'm in the region of asking for impossible things anyway, why don't we have an update that fixes all of the bugs in Minecraft? That's right, the hundreds of thousands of bugs that exist, just fix them all. I mean, I think that we would get bored and we'd miss the actual features, but I imagine if they could fix every single bug, that would be amazing. And yeah, I guess it would also be amazing if people could share worlds with each other. I mean, right now you can share worlds via Realms, and if you get approved via the Microsoft Partner Program, then you can share worlds with everyone publicly. Wouldn't it be cool if you could just make a public download for your world? Microsoft could check that it's not virus-filled and it could work in the Super Mario Maker way, but wouldn't it be cool if people could share maps of each other to share challenges and all these sorts of things? I think it'd be a lot of fun, and I know there's the marketplace already, and there's also sites outside of Minecraft where you can share stuff, but wouldn't it be great if you could share things from within the game? Even if you could just create a link for someone to go look at your world while you're not there. There are so many great Minecraft creations that people are never going to see because the team isn't big enough to be approved by the marketplace, or they don't meet one of the requirements regarding age, citizenship, or, the status of their business. And, in those cases, wouldn't it be great if those worlds could be seen? Even if we argue that maybe it's a way for marketplace teams to scout for new content, it'd be great if people could share their worlds from within the game, especially on the consoles where that's next to impossible to do. Anyway, now that I'm done asking for ridiculous things, I would like to ask for the thing at the end of this video, because there is one last thing that I have to talk about. I've made sure it's at the end of the video because, when it comes to dimensions that need an update, I think the end is definitely top of the list. It was first just added as a boss fighting arena, then they added a whole kind of dimension with 1.9 around it, but I think now is the time to add all sorts of new biomes and all sorts of new mobs and things that you can find around here. You should have reason to explore the end, just like you can explore the Nether post-Nether update. I think that even if you just add 3 or 4 extra biomes to the end and a couple of structures, you would make for one of the most interesting places to explore in Minecraft, and you would encourage people to set up bases there, and you'd make people realize the value of building in that endless nothing. What I was talking about earlier. There are so many fun ideas that are just unexploited here because people think of the end as being the place where, oh, I guess you kill the dragon and then later you get wings and a shulker box. Wouldn't it be great if there were more reasons to be here, and also if it was slightly easier to go from the end islands back to your overworld? Maybe if there was some form of portal, you could link that to your deep dock somehow if you really want to. I don't care how or why, I just would love for the end to be updated, and if we're going really crazy, maybe even other dimensions too. But I think the end has to come first. Maybe I'm wrong though, we'll find out when 1.20 is revealed, but even if these ideas aren't for 1.20, these are things I'd love to see in 1.21 or beyond. Do you have any ideas for what you'd like to see in a future update? Leave your ideas in the comments down below, and I'll take the very best of them, and we'll talk about the community suggestions for an update that could come in the future. I would love to hear what update you think the game would have, because, obviously, I think it's always interesting to talk about Minecraft, and that's why I did it for the past 18 minutes. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you could see the areas of the game that I love so much but want to see improved, and I hope that you also have a good day, because I'm going to see you in the next one. Goodbye.